When it comes to Auschwitz and medical experiments, most people know about Mengele. While his experiments were the most famous, partially due to his position as the chief camp physician and his role in selecting people for the gas chambers, he was far from the only one doing inhumane medical experiments. There were also many SS officers assisting. However, one story that has always stood out to me as both disgusting and lesser known is that of Victor Capesius. Before joining the SS, he was a Bayer salesman. After serving in Nazi ghettos and camps, he transferred to Auschwitz in 1944. He and Mengele had a close working relationship, sometimes selecting who would go to the gas at the arrival ramp together. He was an ethnic German, but lived most of his life in Transylvania. As he worked in Auschwitz when the majority of arrivals were from Hungary and Transylvania, he was the only SS officer on the arrivals ramp to be recognized by Jews from his previous work. As the chief pharmacist, he was in charge of poisons, including the Zyklon B used in the gas chambers. Although it was against the rules, he routinely pocketed valuables that had been stolen from those entering the camp. Worse still, he also stole gold teeth and bridges that had been extracted from corpses. He sent them to his sister for safekeeping. After the liberation of Auschwitz, he went into hiding. The British eventually held him for a year, but then released him. He moved to Germany, but was recognized in 1946 by an Auschwitz survivor, who turned Victor over to the Americans. He was able to avoid prosecution and went to work as a pharmacist again in West Germany. During this era, not only was he living off the stolen gold, literally from dead Jews' mouths, but he opened his own pharmacy with the money. The pharmacy became wildly successful, and he opened a beauty salon inside of it as well. Jewish prosecutor Fritz Bauer, however, compiled enough evidence on Victor to arrest him 9 years after he opened his pharmacy/salon in 1959. In August 1965, Victor was convicted of aiding and abetting the murder of thousands of people. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison. He would only serve 2. He would die in 1985 without ever apologizing or expressing any remorse to his victims. In fact, he claimed he also had nightmares from his time in Auschwitz.